We're
Hey
live.
everyone, this is Luck powering on. How goes it? Oh fuck, I forgot it
Yo.
mutes. It's Twitch. I had
What?
it open and I started to hear myself.
Why? Oh, okay. Also, one of these days, Luck. One of these days, you won't step over my fucking intro. It's my channel.
This is Luck. Oh shit, you're right.
There's the echo. There it is. There it is. No,
Just
it's
making
fine.
sure, just making sure I can see chat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pull them up. This is a Spider-Man one. My assumption is I don't know. Maybe someone won't want. Maybe someone want to watch this one. You know, it's Spider-Man. People like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man. Everyone
People
knows
like
this version of
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
People
Spooderman.
like Spider-Man, and this movie is pretty iconic. I mean, I think I forget how iconic it is until I rewatch it and I'm like, oh yeah, I know every single scene and like every other line. I've
I got,
seen memes about everything.
I've
yeah, I
seen
finally
so
learned
many.
the origin story behind some memes I've seen for a long time. I was like, oh, it comes from this movie. Got it.
I've seen so many YouTube poops of this movie. I forgot how it actually went.
We watched some after this. We watched the McRib
We did.
saga after this, among others.
I know.
Among
It's,
others.
like after that and watching the original movie, it's like, where's the McRib?
Those are some clips from Spider-Man animated. Watch more of that. One day I'll force you guys to sit down and no, actually I wouldn't. No, I don't think that show is. It's a good show, but I don't think it's. I don't think it's like sit down and watch for like 5 hours straight in a Discord call worthy. It's like yeah, I don't know. I feel like that I don't know. They're gonna come for me. It's good. It's good. I promise. I love it. I've seen all of it. It's great. It's great. It's just it's not entertaining in that way, and it's also sometimes a lot to process. Show goes by fast, right? It's like the pacing is like kind of breakneck sometimes.
I know for a fact that we all had commented about the pacing of the final third act, and it's like, damn, that went by like nothing
You know, like
for
the
this
part of
movie.
the movie
Wait,
was
Yeah.
a
show
lot
or
about the
movie, show or
origin.
movie, show or
Oh,
movie,
for this movie, I'm
show or
comparing
movie.
it to the show
Yeah,
because
Um,
likewise that too happened so quickly.
yeah. You jumped a bit. I got confused.
My bad.
Either way, I think I feel like goes without saying that we loved it, right? Like this is start off with that
Oh, of
baseline. Goes
course.
without saying.
yeah, it's at the top of the list.
Can
The
we?
list
Absolutely.
is
We can get that
yeah.
out of the way right now. Just rank it right this second. Like get
It's gonna
our
be hard
yeah
to beat.
get our rankings just out of the way here. Wait, why do I have this there? Never mind.
Yeah, it's not gonna be beaten until like 3 more movies because after Hulk, it's Spider-Man 2.
What's a good line, right? I feel like the only line, wait, how many, wait, no, I'm like, what's a good line? I like 5 immediately popped into my head, all warring with each other, right? Like what's a good like line to put as
I missed
our
the part where that's my problem.
we can do a serious one. With great power comes great responsibility, or I'm something of a scientist myself, or do you know what I've do you know how much I've sacrificed? Do you know how much?
Not the corporate crash out.
So much. There's so much. What do
I like how you dropped like 2 meme lines and that were completely unrelated to the meme line I also had put.
Okay, I'm gonna put I'm something of a scientist myself as our funny little meme line for this ranking we have. Um yeah, okay. We'll do a final rundown of the ranking at the end here. I got notes. I got notes on notes on notes. I got a lot of things to talk
My
about.
notes mostly consist of comparisons and praise.
It's a lot of praise. I have some criticisms. I'll be honest. I don't think this is a perfect movie. I think I almost know for a fact that Spider-Man 2 will be better than this.
I haven't seen
But it's
Spider-Man
very
2,
good.
so I can't really compare.
There were a few things I think we all generally agreed on that were maybe problems. The general depiction of Mary Jane Watson, I think, is really hit or miss sometimes. Not that the actress does a bad job, but that the character as written is just inconsistent and not
Just
terribly
all over the
like
place.
her comic counterpart.
Should we rip off the not like the comic book Band-Aid right now?
We'll save that. We'll save that.
Okay, okay.
Because I think for once I do actually have a lot of notes to get through, and I would like to. This isn't like Blade 2, where it's like throw out all the notes. Who gives a shit? This was bad. I want to luxuriate a little bit. Yeah?
He wants to savor.
I'm gonna savor it. So, do we begin?
The yappers in connoisseur mode.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Do we wish to partake? Do we wish to begin?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, we can.
Let's take a bite into it.
Oh wait, actually, this is my, okay. Who amongst us has read a Spider-Man comic?
No.
Just me.
Yeah, just
okay.
I've seen comics, but I didn't read them.
Okay, so one of the first comics that I ever read was a Spider-Man comic. It was it was like a collection of a few key issues from like I want to say like the 90s era, 80s era a little bit. Don't remember the exact artist right off the top of my head. I'm sure I could find it very easily if I looked it up. And it was like I remember reading that one a lot. It was like my introduction to superhero stuff at like age like 9, maybe a little younger. Just reading this thing over and over again because obviously I was a baby, and even if there were any more Spider-Man comics, like I didn't fucking know. As far as I was concerned, these 5 were the only that existed. And then, I think I, like a lot of the rest of us, watched various Spider-Man cartoons growing up. Spectacular Spider-Man was my Spider-Man for sure, but I did go back to watch the 90s animated series, and then would eventually start, would love the movies, would like all of them, especially Spider-Verse, and then would go on to like I think like recently I read the Ultimate Spider-Man run, which started off really strong, ended kind of mid. Yeah. I'm a Spider-Man fan. I maybe haven't read as many comics as some others, but I like him, and I'm familiar with a good amount of the comic storylines, including some of the weirder bullshit like Madam Web. So yeah.
As for me, no comic experience with Spider-Man, I'm afraid. Again, anything that I have heard through comics is come through videos.
Fair. I almost wanted to send you guys something like that for Spider-Man, but maybe I was too blinded, just being like, it's Spider-Man. Who doesn't know Spider-Man?
Who doesn't know Spider-Man?
Who doesn't know Spider-Man? It's yeah.
I got popped up the wound and said, "Hey, that Peter Parker guy is Spider-Man."
Speaking of accents.
Oh my god, the New York accents of this—they're infectious. You start quoting some lines like I pointed out to you that one line at the end was like, "You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us." It's so good. It's so good. So good. Okay, so we open up in this movie to Peter in his natural habitat, running late and chasing a bus that he missed, and just generally being kind of pathetic.
For a moment there, I actually thought you were going to say his natural state being pathetic.
Well, yes.
Which both interpretations are correct.
So he's an outcast. He has a girl. He has a crush on the girl next door, MJ.
Yeah. First off, interesting phrasing of the girl next door, considering what you had said of what Gwen's initial description kind of was.
So they say they literally call her the girl next door. That's traditionally not what MJ is in the comics. So okay, this is maybe a good time to mention that. I'll just say one last dynamic is he's friends with Harry Osborn, who is a disappointment to his super rich father, who is not the worst father I've seen him as in some of these. He's good old C+ grade compared to some of the others. So yeah, MJ
he could be worse.
He could be worse. Yeah.
So
he could be MJ's father.
MJ's father is basically implied to beat her. So yes. So MJ is traditionally not the girl next door. That was always Gwen. That was always Gwen Stacy. MJ was like the wild card cool girl that kind of swept him off his feet. That became really popular with the fans, despite the fact that it seemed like some people within Marvel actually didn't like her that much. There was a bit of a waifu wars going on with them for a bit. These were the,
Ship war.
yeah. Um MJ here is basically one for one playing the role of Gwen, more or less, with maybe a few exceptions. One, Gwen is usually not into acting. That's almost exclusively associated with MJ. I think because of this movie, literally.
It kind of just merged the characters.
Yeah, they just kind of merged them, including basically putting the death of Gwen Stacy at the end of the movie, just cutting out the death part. Like, it's almost beat for beat, like the final act. It is in fact beat for beat, the final act, save for the fact that, happy ending.
It doesn't go snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah.
All I can think of is the video game moment where you fail to sequence the freaking animation, just ragdolls, and it's memeable.
Well, that sounds funny.
But yeah, MJ is, so if you're feeling, she is the Veronica to Gwen's Betty. She is the I don't know, the Oscar to her Ray, etc., etc., etc. She's the spicy one, which is the spicy ones tend to be the fan favorites. Hey, Alan, thanks for joining us for Spider-Man.
Yo, welcome to Spider-Man.
Hello.
Curse these accents.
It's infectious. Absolutely
it is.
Infectious. So she is God, lost my thought. Where was I? You tell me where I was.
Spicy characters are fan favorites.
Spicy characters tend to be fan favorites. So to make her kind of not that is a choice, I guess. I understand why you would want to merge her more with Gwen Stacy, because you want to skip the Gwen Stacy part, and that's honestly still a popular choice to this day. Or to at least heavily recast Gwen Stacy into more of a Spider-Gwen path. But like Spider-Gwen. Are you aware of Spider-Gwen?
I am. I just wasn't aware of the pathing.
Yeah. So nowadays the popular thing is to completely, more or less, skip that arc with her and Peter. Maybe they have a little thing going on, but it's not major, and then to just have her whole arc just about being Spider-Woman. That's like a common thing. They did that in like one of the more recent cartoons, I think, where they keep MJ and Peter as OTP, and Gwen is off doing her own thing, girl bossing it up.
Common, which they did with they did that in the animated Spider-Man. That's multiverse.
Oh, good for you, Alan. Good for you, though. It's fine. Internet
Best
stuff.
of luck.
People go in and out, but sounds like a good path there. Good luck on the classes.
I knew of Spider-Gwen, her being Gwen and all that jazz. I just didn't quite know of how they treat it, besides Spider-Verse.
Originally it is an Elseworld thing, essentially, where it is pretty much exactly how it is in Spider-Verse, where you completely switch the roles, but there are some adaptations that like to have their cake and eat it too. So if they want to include her as a character and they don't want to kill her off, that is a popular path to take nowadays. Like, I'll see people, for example, propose a continuation, a season 3 of Spectacular Spider-Man, and I'll see fan art of that version of Gwen being Spider-Gwen, despite the fact that wasn't actually a thing at the time that cartoon came out. Because that's how popular that version of the character is. It's superseded the original version, for sure. Probably for the best. The death of Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
It's a tonally
basically from non-character to... Yeah, go on.
It's Death of Gwen Stacy is like a tonally weird thing, honestly, that requires you'll see it's the slightest of, maybe not the biggest of spoilers for the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is that in the movie 2, that's the path that one takes. And Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is, in my opinion, so weird and dark a lot of the times. It's very it's a very good no, well, not good. It's a very interesting example of that movie's tone problem, the way that is implemented. So yeah, but we're getting like way, I mean, the thing with Spider-Man is that you can't
We're
talk about
jumping.
Spider-Man without talking about every version of Spider-Man. That's the nature
I mean,
of it.
he's a pretty like
It's all
he's kind of a spectrum character. Very flexible
He is.
in
Oh, that's
how
what you
he's
meant by
input.
spectrum character.
Yeah, very flexible. Like there's so many renditions of Spider-Man.
That's the point of him. Originally I think I think Stanley had in an interview said something along the lines of the great thing about Spider-Man is that anyone could be under the mask. So anyone can imprint
Yeah.
themselves on Spider-Man, and you can create any infinite number of Spider-Mans and Spider-Men and or Spider-Women, and it like all works.
Works. Hence
Yeah,
Spider-Verse.
it's kind of interesting because like I've seen a whole bunch of like, oh yeah, a character from this universe, and like oftentimes it's like same person, different font. With Spider-Man, it could be just a literally different person, and like, yep, no, it's
Yeah,
still Spider-Man.
Still works.
Yeah, that's Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Still works. Doesn't
That-
have to be Peter Parker. Plus, it could just be like Kurt. My current avatar has been Spider-Man at one point. Like it just you mean anyone.
We're all Spider-Man. It's canon.
In different universes, we ourselves are Spider-Man.
Probably. I'll look it up right now. I bet that's the case. First off, okay, Loki, Spider-Man. Let's see.
Oh, I meant like us IRL.
Oh yeah, that as well. But I wanted to see if Loki has if Loki's ever been in a Spider-Man suit. Has Loki ever
I'm
been in a
curious.
Spider-Man suit?
I
Let's see.
sincerely doubt if that
Probably
Doom
not.
has
I
been
kinda-
Spider-Man.
Probably
I kind of
not.
doubt that too.
Probably not. Though wait, but has he been Venom?
Yes, he's been
Yeah, we
Venom.
looked that one up.
that one we confirmed.
That's been like everyone's been Venom for sure.
You haven't been Spider-Man, you have been Venom.
Ultimate it's Doctor Doom. What?
Hmm?
No, I'm looking something up.
Okay. Where are we? We only made it.
Spider-Man dons his new suit from Doctor Doom in Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah. Okay. My next note, because I mentioned Harry, it's very funny that, and this is honestly the funny thing with all like Spider-Man movies a lot of the times, which is that like Spider-Man as well as like the fact that Spider-Man is being bullied is always funny in the context of the movies, because like they'll have him be played by the most handsome actor you can think of.
He would
Right?
as we were weird kids in school. We're like, ain't no way this kid was at the bully table.
There's no way.
The nerd
There's
table.
no way Tobey Maguire with Tobey Maguire's face is getting bullied. So in the same way that there's no way that Harry Osborn,
Yeah.
who is filthy rich and looks like James Franco, is getting bullied. Like,
Yeah, like what do they say? Like, oh, what? Oh, look at the rich boy. His daddy's gonna fire us. What you gonna do?
with
Something
the
like that.
beautiful eyes and chiseled jawline. Let me lower my own volume. I think I'm peaking the mic too much. Okay. Let me get the spider bite scene here. I think at one point we got sucked into a conversation around this point about like the general look and vibe of the film. Frog, another person who is in the Discord, mentioned something about like just 90s movies being different, just being built different. And
Yeah.
I made the argument that 90% of that is just the usage of film. How a lot of modern film technology kind of works against getting the kinds of looks that I think actually are appealing in films. So just like needing like actual physical film and needing that like warmth in the color, that little bit of grain, how it just really just gives you a good feeling when you're watching these. It's like a little bit nostalgia, yes, but I think it also just straight up makes a better picture a lot of the times. But this is very like, nice bright colors, very like 90s teen movie acting. It's warm and authentic are the key words.
Oh, definitely. I I've embarked on the warm, authentic feeling.
Mm. Also, we were definitely in praise of. I mean, there's not too many examples of like costume design in this, right? You pretty much only have like Gabi and Spider-Man, but they are both very good costumes at the end of the day.
Yeah,
They're
I'd
both
say so.
they're both really good.
Solid costume, yeah.
Spider-Man is, yeah, this version of Spider-Man just iconic.
It is. It's a good looking costume. It feels very. It's a costume that feels very comic accurate. Maybe I'll have to double check once we watch all of them. What like how I want to rank the
We can
Spider-Man
compare the
costumes.
suits.
Yes, compare the.
Yes, rank the suits.
We should. We should.
That'd be fun.
I also wish to make to say this note because I thought it was ironic how this movie reminded me a little bit of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, a very influential like 90s teen movie that the Tom Holland Spider-Man movie directly references. To the point where I might make you watch that movie as homework for homecoming.
It references it?
I have seen it, but it's been a long time since I've seen it.
You've seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yes.
I have not.
It's really good. You should just watch. It's just a good movie.
It is.
Yeah.
It's silly.
I think I saw the last 10 minutes of it where it's that one chase scene of Ferris Bueller getting home.
There's like multiple Marvel movies that reference it, including Deadpool, I think.
Ah.
With like an end credit.
I mean, Deadpool, if references anything, I believe it.
Yeah. So you need to watch that movie at some point. That's added to the list. Okay. Next interesting thing. So Norman Osborn. Discuss. Discuss Willem Dafoe.
His face can turn insane at any given notice, and I think that is a great hallmark of what he can do and why he makes a great Goblin.
He like grins and it just looks like the Green Goblin. He's really.
It's like was it Jim Carrey who played Grinch? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Reminds me a lot of Jim Carrey.
I was about to bring up the Grinch that it does give that kind of vibe.
He kind of makes the movie. Like, I feel like without him, the movie doesn't work, right?
It would fall a little flatter.
It would be lesser, yeah. Especially about how he and Spider-Man parallel each other. So, like, you need a strong actor for Goblin.
Toby's no slouch, which is why I think even though we don't have Willem Dafoe for movie 2, 2 is still really, really amazing. But yeah, we get a lot of like a couple shifts here. At least compared to how he tends to be depicted more nowadays. I feel like nowadays the main thing with Osborn is that he's like just a capitalist, right? I'm actually not sure how true this is to the comic, because the comic is like filled with a lot of characters that are like Frankensteins, basically, all like scientists with just way too much hubris, just doing experiments on themselves and fucking up, and it goes horribly wrong. There's like,
or the ethics is removed from the building.
Yeah, just multiple characters that fall into that, right? The lizard, you got Doc Ock, and Osborn again, depending on who's writing him. But nowadays they tend to just be he's just the capitalist, right? Because a lot of the times Osborn, in my opinion, is at his most fun when he's a absolute dick both in and out of the suit.
Yeah.
And
just making him a capitalist just works well for that because he's inherently antagonistic.
Especially since like he is supposed to be. So, like, Harry is always going to be an important character to Spider-Man mythos, and Harry is a character who works best when his father is awful. So, I think it's one of
he was awful enough.
It's that balancing act of, like, Harry is more sympathetic and interesting when Norman is more straightforwardly a complete bag of dicks. But because you have Willem Dafoe, you're not sure if you're gonna get a second movie. You're kind of like swinging big with this one. The idea of making Norman the more sympathetic one by making him a scientist who's like the creator of the serum, who's like putting his neck out there, who just really wants it to work, or else his company is like gone.
Yeah.
I liked the pathetic, Frankenstein idea that they went with, though. Even though I don't have the context of like the comics and other movies right now.
Very Frankenstein meets Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And the important part of the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story is always that Jekyll needs to be sympathetic to some extent.
Mm.
Or else you don't feel for him in the same way, or else the story doesn't work the same way.
Speaking of villains, I feel like a lot of villains lately they've tried to make every villain like be sympathetic, where it's like I sometimes just want to see someone be evil for the sake of just they're evil and they don't care.
Good old Joker.
I think there's a balance to it. Yeah, I think there's a balance to it. I don't know.
I just don't think every villain needs to be the misunderstood trope, or there's something about them that's like, oh yeah, like we can just give them a little leash about why they are the way they are. Like, nah, just make them as you said, a bag of dicks.
You could have a villain that is just like evil and just like fun, who like just loves it. I do have a great affection for the Great Mouse Detective, for example. Radigan in that. He's just such a diva. That's he's just, and like you love it, right? Like that's like a lot of Disney villains that are like absolutely beloved. It's because they're absolute divas. They're chewing the scenery.
Dude, my heart goes out to Scar in that.
But I do admit though there are a lot of cases in which giving a villain a little bit more depth can really save a movie. I'll actually give the example of the Captain America movie we watched. Right, the two different cuts. The version of the cut in which the Red Skull was just evil and loving it, versus the one where he was actually pretty sympathetic. It's like we knew which one of those cuts was better.
Yeah.
After you brought up the sympathetic Red Skull, it's just like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot that was low-key cinema and I was rooting for him to play that piano.
That is the thing. Everyone says they want villains that are just straightforwardly evil. And I think in some cases you do, and in some cases it works. And like,
I'm not saying either is bad. I'm just saying like sometimes it's okay to like not have it.
Yeah. Like I'll say it for a movie I quite like is Django Unchained, for example. Right?
No, that one.
No, it's a movie about a former slave played by Jamie Foxx, coming back to rescue his wife and kill all of the like every slave owner basically within like a mile radius.
It's such a good movie. I loved it.
It's very good, and it's good because Tarantino sometimes knows that, like, yeah, in order to have a villain that you really want to see get killed, you can't give them even a hint of sympathy. You need to have them be just the worst people on the planet.
Gotta make sure the audience.
I remember I actually came across a clip of Tarantino, at least I think it was Tarantino, saying like, yeah, there's that trope of, no, we have to be better than them. But some people just fucking suck. Dude, kill that man.
Yeah, I think he really shows it well in Inglourious Bastards too. That's like the other side of that, where that one's like the Nazi hunters, right?
Yes.
The Nazis in that are absolute garbage. And they're presented very straightforwardly. They're Nazis. But I mean, like,
call me GI Robot. That's end of statement. Nazis kill them.
It is. But the movie goes out of its way to portray them as pigs, basically.
Yeah.
As they should. And I'm saying that, like, yeah, that's a great case for we need villains that are just straightforwardly just the worst sometimes. There's nuance. There's layers. There's nuance. There's nuance.
Yeah, I think it depends on the type of story you're trying to tell. So like, I get what matters. Yeah,
context matters.
So like, Wixby, I do get what you're trying to say. Of like, maybe they're leaning a little too heavy in it. Like, yeah, maybe they might need to shake up the formula a little.
Mm-hmm. But in this case, you get Willem Dafoe in here.
Yeah, it worked here.
Yeah, it works.
No, it did.
The movie makes a lot of direct parallels between Osborn's transformation and Peter's putting Peter's putting the scenes side by side. One change was unwilling, the other was very willing but ill-advised. This is where like the hubris of Osborn really comes into play, which you start to get that, like, even though he is in many ways presented as sympathetic, his own pride is definitely something that purely comes from him. Now, as you go on in the movie and he starts behaving more and more badly, it's hard to know like where the line is sometimes in between like him and Goblin. You know,
Hmm.
it's like one scene in particular that I'm really thinking about, the Thanksgiving scene, that I think I'll have to put a pin in.
Oh, the Thanksgiving
Yeah,
scene.
comfortable
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
that's.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Get a lot of parallels also between MJ's very broken household and Peter's at the time for right now very very kind, loving, complete household. Yay.
I
Sure,
know,
nothing
Got
right?
the
That's
bad'll
new
literally able.
movie.
happen.
Yeah, literally able to hear yelling from the other house, and then Peter's
Mhm.
just. You know what? We'll get to that when we get to that.
Peter has a very kind family that loves him very much, that talks to him as gently as possible, that tries to be as understanding as possible. And you really feel the love in the house, even as he's being a kind of angsty teen, because he doesn't get respected very much at school. And he gets a little bit of power. The arc begins. He
Immediately power trips a little.
immediately power trips a little bit. You start to see the
Here,
path that he
speaking
can
of
go down.
yeah,
But just to
speaking of
make
power
sure
trips.
he's still relatable, he's still a photographer trying to make ends meet.
Oh yeah, real quick. Speaking of power tripping, it kind of does remind me of how in the Invincible show, an added scene was Debbie was like, "All right, yeah, go inside." Mark was like, "Make me." She
Mm-hmm.
goes on her entire speech of like, "What? Just because you can physically overpower me, that makes you think you're better?" And then like, yeah, that's power can absolutely make people kind of power trip, probably because of the name power tripping.
No, literally.
I'm gonna really like. Okay, the thing with Invincible, the show, is that like 99% of the time, if there is a good Debbie scene, it was invented for the show or heavily, heavily changed.
If there's also a good Debbie arc, like her not immediately accepting Often Man, that's also show exclusive.
Yeah, the
I
show
haven't
does
seen
so
much of
much.
Invincible.
You should. It's really good.
Uh,
It's really good. I mean, it like kind of falls off in my opinion, but it still remains to be a pretty decent like superhero cartoon. But season 1, it's like maybe one of the most solid here like
I've seen
superhero
season
shows
one,
I've ever
although I saw
seen.
someone say the criticism with the animation is that it needs shading. Like shading is the issue.
I don't really care. I don't really care about that. I just think the writing post season 1 just never really recovers. It hits
Mm,
such high highs, and then when it stumbles even a little bit, and then it starts to
you
stumble a
noticed.
lot. Yeah, you
Mhm.
really notice. So I don't know. I still watch.
But
I
yeah,
still watch it whenever there's a new season. I'll still tune in.
going back to Spider-Man, he got bit. He's immediately like, "I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye." That's movie two.
I think that's movie 3.
It's one of the movies.
If Peter's being really if Peter's being really like mean, if he's being a dick or just having a horrible line like that, it's probably 3.
Hmm.
All the wild shit happens in 3.
Shit, what was movie two then?
Movie 2 is the good one with Doc Ock. Movie 2 is just good.
Oh shit, yeah, that's right. How did I forget?
I have
Yeah,
no context yet.
you'll get there.
You'll get it.
Mhm.
I do like Doc Ock as a villain though.
You'll get your money when you fix the damn door. That's also movie three.
It is. No, movie 3's been memed on so much as the thing, so you're gonna like you'll see. We get
I
some
lost.
we get some special effects here when Peter starts getting his powers. We get some
Mhm.
good uses and some that clearly visually need some work. We're still in like early CG era for sure. Some of it looks you
It
know.
can't be worse than Blade.
Oh, Blade 1 CG was absolute dog shit. But this is like
Yeah.
it's like apparent when they use it, but it's not
Yeah.
the most distracting. I'll say the scene where like he's fighting Flash in the hall. There's like it like freezes almost like the Quicksilver scene,
Quicksilver.
right?
Yeah.
It goes throughout the whole hall. We get a view of everything going through it slowly. That's
Mhm.
cool. You can kind of see it in some places, but like generally it's like it's a cool. It probably knocked people's socks off in 2002. Like Can see that. But the rubbery Spider-Man across the rooftops, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
I mean, you could tell they tried hiding it a
They
little
tried.
by the fact that he wasn't like the main focus of it.
It's kind of funny nowadays because now, I mean, random question, or maybe not so random. Have you seen the Spider-Man animatronic that they have in Disney?
No.
It's
I don't think I have.
I've seen it in motion once. It's so fucking amazing. It's like insane what they did with that. Like holy shit.
Holy fuck, we got
Now I want to look it up.
Look it up. Look it up. It's an animatronic that literally like it basically does like they like launch it with like a slingshot essentially into like across the skyline, like over a rooftop onto like a mat on the other side, and it does like a Spider-Man pose, and it looks so cool. It looks so cool.
Oh,
You're seeing it now, right?
I think
yeah,
I
hold on.
remember seeing it before. Well, not like seeing it, like a clip of it,
It's like a stunt-tronic.
No, it goes down all the time because of course it has all sorts of technical issues.
I'm sure there's a mechanic that it's like Five Nights at Freddy's. There's probably some kind of mechanic that has to fix that thing all the time.
Oh yeah, but like it's especially it has to like impact with the ground from like a high velocity constantly. But it's if you do manage to see it, it's very impressive. And so kind of seeing like how far we've come in 20 years from that to that is interesting. I'd be curious to see if they ever decide to use something like that for the movies one of these days. It's kind of making me look forward to a brand new
I'm
day
sure
again.
that animatronic is like millions and millions and millions of dollars just for that thing.
It costed so much for them to develop it, and it was mostly developed for the sake of like impressing shareholders, I think. But it did actually get a showing. It does get a showing in parks from time to time, not all the time, but like I think I got to see it live if I remember. Didn't catch a video.
I can't tell if I'm looking at the footage of the animatronic or if it just looks that good.
It just looks that good. It like just looks like a person is the thing.
That's insane.
Yeah. Because I was looking at him like, is that a dude? Am I looking at the wrong
video? No, it just looks that good. It just looks that good.
I was questioning if I was looking at the right video too. I was like, what the heck? It's moving like an actual person. I can't tell.
I can't believe it. We as a species have finally done what our ancestors did. Monkey brain throw thing.
They got a slingshot and they slung a robot and they put a suit on him and he looks like Spider-Man when you do that. And especially since it's from a distance, right? Because it's from a rooftop. You cannot tell the difference between that and just a real guy.
No.
You can't tell the difference.
No.
You can't.
I'm sure if
the only reason why the crowd doesn't freak out is because they're probably told like it's not a real guy.
I'm sure if you're like
close, I don't think they're told that. They just listen, they say it's Spider-Man, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's Spider-Man doing his thing."
It's supposed to impress the kids, So the kids, it's like, yeah, Spider-Man.
Well, yeah,
Spider-Man's here
until something goes wrong, and they think they just watch someone die.
Well, the impact area is like behind the building.
Yeah, the impact area is hidden.
Okay. Yeah.
The like launch and impact areas are all hidden. You just see him like in the air, does a pose, and then goes under the out of sight.
Yeah.
Still.
And then the human actor pops back up. It's like, haha, I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm alive.
It's not. I don't even think he pops back up. It's just supposed to be like, oh, look, he has a thing to do apparently. Look at him, he's going.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't know. The video cuts off after the jump.
He'll show up in the plays they do about the other Avengers, but yeah. I'm not even sure how long that's gonna last with everything. Avengers Campus is like a weird section of the parks for sure. It's like not that good of a section, but there are little things in it, little pockets in it that are like, someone put a lot of thought into this. Someone staked their career on making this little attraction, and I'm glad it worked out for them, even if the park as a whole is kind of disappointing.
Especially the main Disneyland Adventureland section. It's kind of lacking sauce.
Okay, so what?
Oh yeah, Peter got his powers.
From the genetically modified spider.
He does Go-Go Gadget Spider Wrist and catches MJ in the tray.
Oh wait, did I have a? Did
And
I
then
have
he's
a?
called a freak for being good at kung fu.
Oh yeah. Also, he has the organic web shooters in this one. Some people are really
I
attached to the organic web shooters. I am not. I think they're weird.
I think they make sense for spider powers.
I think they're weird. I don't like
Mhm.
them.
For me, it's I don't really have any fight in the game.
I'm
It's
pretty
just like if
neutral
I
on
see
it.
him with organic, all right, cool, that's what we're doing. See him with mechanical, all right, cool, that's what we're doing.
I think I
I do
like
get
him.
what Lily.
I like him as a guy that he builds a lot of his own stuff. He makes his own suits. He's a tinkerer. He is a bit of like
True.
an amateur like garage scientist.
He's actually
Um
really smart. That's kind of like,
yeah,
isn't it canon that he's smarter than Tony Stark?
probably.
Like in terms of like eventually like his own inventions surpasses Stark
Yeah,
Industries.
like probably, like probably.
Yeah.
In the cartoons, after a while, you really start to see him inventing all kinds of different things, to where he's just kind of Batman after a while. I think that's a little
But I
too
think
much,
I
but
think I think because he's such a jokester though that it kind of clashes that you don't realize he's that smart.
that's the joy of it, though. I don't know. I think like the fact
Yeah.
that he's so wisecracking and is so quick on his feet is an extension of of this intelligence that he has. There's a balance to it, and different adaptations lean into certain parts of it. Andrew Garfield, for example, is much more the scientist and the tinkerer, and I think that also has its own drawbacks sometimes, and that sometimes he's like comes across as such a genius, you're like it starts to lose believability.
Like it
Um
leans into too much. Like, okay, you're kind of a tech guy, not necessarily like this is the smart Spider-Man.
yeah, yeah. So it you'll find too that like a lot of times the next Spider-Man will just be a reaction to the previous Spider-Man, more or less, in the way
Well,
that
that
he's
makes
written.
sense.
Which is also why then you get Tom Holland, and it's like, okay, fine, you didn't like that one was too much of a tech guy, then let's just say someone else made us tech, and that's not good either.
The movie was a
Yeah,
big
I've heard a
success though.
lot. Oh, go on. Sorry.
I would just say the movie was like a big success though for the first one.
Oh
It
yeah,
was,
it
but that
was.
doesn't stop people from complaining. And a common complaint I've heard is this is just Iron Man Jr.
Yeah, yeah, he is the thing. Like it is enough that I as a bit of a Spider-Man fan am sometimes irritated that version of the character has so much taken over the fandom's perception of him. That is irritating to me. To the point where, like, if I'm
That's
going to read Spider-Man fan fiction, I will literally have to filter out MCU and filter out Tony Stark, just to get a version of Spider-Man that I like a little. Not that
give
I
me
hate Tom
spectacular. Come
Holland.
on, guys.
Not that I hate Tom Holland. Not that I hate that movie. I like that movie.
Mm.
It's just,
It's just
yeah,
Spider-Man has flavors.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Alan.
And layers.
Little Iron Man Jr. gonna cry. Uh, but okay.
Way
What
to leave
what
off
else
on
we got?
movie. Spider Riz, he gets into a fight.
We have the wrestling saga as he continues to fall down a
The
dark path.
rest. Wait, hold on. Before we get into the wrestling saga, I just want to bring up the him with Uncle Ben. Like, it kind of
Oh,
paid
yeah,
me
it's the
watching
speech.
that.
It's the speech. It's the
Yeah,
speech.
well, not just the speech, like the lead up to that, of where he's like talking with Aunt May, or it's just like, "Ah, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that kid," and then like he tries connecting with Peter. It's like, come on, man, like we're family. You could talk. Stop trying to be my dad. Fuck you, like Peter. The famous line, "Fuck you, not dad,"
And he's like, he seems
and
so
that's more or less how I
sad
seen
and
the scene.
disappointed, and that's the last time he sees them alive.
The
I
angst is
I mean,
real.
forgot
this is the
that. I
part where
forgot
that's
that that
my
was
problem.
literally when he dies.
Yeah, toning back from my comedic reinterpretation of it, I wasn't joking about the part of Uncle Ben did earnestly try connecting with Peter in a way where Peter's brushing off and rejection of him felt like realistic about how you could see people interacting. Of just
Felt like a
like Uncle Ben's like,
teenager
here, let's,
overreacting a little.
yeah, but like Uncle Ben's like, yeah, let's talk, let's talk. Peter's just like, no, we could talk later. Why do we have to talk now? Like, he's being an annoyed teenager. Like, it's realistic. I could see that being a thing. And it hurts because you know what's about to come next.
Spider-Man is
Oh,
okay. This may be a good time to talk about the inception of Spider-Man a little bit more. So
okay.
do you know why Spider-Man was created and why specifically he was a teenager? Because I don't know if you noticed, but most other superheroes aren't teenagers,
They're adults.
right?
Yeah, they're all adults.
So basically, Batman, right? They have Batman, and then they create Robin, who's a really popular character because Robin is the one that the kids connect to. He's the one that the kids imprint themselves onto. Which is why all the Robins have their own followings, their own fandoms, because people imprint on them from a certain age, and then the Robins kind of grow up with you, which is a lot of fun, and it's really rare for a comic book character. But Spider-Man was basically the Marvel guys looking at that and being like, well, why can't Robin just, if he's the one that the kids like, why can't he
Be
just
the
be the
hero.
hero? So they make Spider-Man,
Yeah.
they make him a teenager, they put him in a mask, and they let him to be that hero that starts off as a teenager that the kids connect to, that then kind of grows up with them in his own way and gets reset every so often, but who can still kind of be that character that can follow you throughout all these stages of your life. And that's why, like, a lot of these movies, right, like why they're so focused on this coming of age story, why like a lot of times they live or die based off of how much you buy Peter as like an actual teenager. It's why they do it like that.
Mm-hmm. I see. All about connecting with the youth. Gotcha.
And that's
Absolutely.
mostly the audience for these. That's the yeah. Yeah, that's actually, I'll just leave it at that. That's
Yeah.
actually a fair
It's always
statement.
kind of been the audience.
Yeah.
It's just they finally were allowing kids to see themselves in the moment of who they are as a hero,
Yeah.
Which is also why
rather
there's
than
always,
looking up to like a mentor or something.
it's also why there's always been a tension in between, should Spider-Man grow up, should he remain or be remain a teenager, be reset every so often.
I think there's
What's
room for both.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's
I've heard
mostly
some
what
people
people are
saying.
about.
Yeah, I've heard some people kind of tossing around like, "Oh, should Pete be high school, college? Should he get married? Stuff like that about growing up." But something I did want to bring up a moment ago is uh, even high school Peter. He just is such a relatable character that he's just captured all audiences regardless.
High school Peter is and like is always and will always be very endearing, for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was too immature though in this film. He felt way more mature for his age.
Because he's being played by Tobey Maguire, who is like
Probably.
28.
Yeah. Plus, like, a part of the movie too is like, oh yeah, he's in. Actually, no, I don't think they went to college. They already got out of high school. Is after a certain part of the movie.
Yeah.
Which, like, yeah, fine.
The acting and script are still on point for teenage Peter, but I don't think there's a Peter that I will fully believe as a teenager until we get to Tom Holland, because he has such a baby face.
Tom Holland, yes, he's just literally a child.
He looks like such a baby, and they really play
He
it
does
up
have a
in
baby
like
face.
a lot of the lines.
Yeah, like I could imagine him like going to a bar and being like, "Hey, can I get a drink, bruv?" And then like, Give me your ID. Here, you look like a child."
In this film, though, he was so freaking dorky. He was such a dork.
This is
It's part of the
definitely
charm.
Spider-Man at his dorkiest. And
Mhm.
maybe another small criticism: Toby isn't very funny, which is
Yeah,
And
difficult
Spider-Man's
for
supposed to be
Spider-Man.
pretty witty and funny. Yeah.
I feel like funny things happen, but he's not the funny one.
Again, to compare some Spider, and I'm sure we'll have a field day when we get to No Way Home. We'll have an absolute field day comparing them even more. Toby is the dorky one. Andrew Garfield is like the smart one who has that intensity that he can get sometimes, especially when the chips are down. Tom, I think, is actually the funny one. And he's also the sweet one.
Yeah, okay, I could see it.
Where Toby's sometimes so awkward that it like I think it works for the most part. I don't think there was ever an awkward moment. There were a few moments where I think, especially some of the guys watching with us, were like, "Hey, was that endearing or weird? I can't tell." And then, and like, we had to be like, "Oh no, I think that was actually sweet." Helps he looks like Tom Holland, but I think no, Toby Maguire. Fuck. But yeah, there's like gets that dorky, awkward, hits that balance usually just
Hmm.
right. Never goes full force into being uncomfortable or too try
Yeah.
hard. Save that for movie 3, Yeah, I think why
Uh,
that came up is because he has the one kind of homophobic joke in the wrestling ring, and that
I
definitely
kind of forgot we were still in the wrestling arc.
yeah, where he says, "Nice suit. Did your husband give it to you?" Or it was like, "Oh, I'm disappointed." Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess I
I
remember
do want
that.
to bring up the only one good thing about that one is the joke I've seen afterwards of like, yes, he did Spider-Man. Thank you for. It's basically the anti-meme of just taking it seriously. Like, oh yes, I did have my husband make this.
Listen, we love bisexual Peter in this house. Okay, so
Yes.
we have to reclaim it however we can. So we get the we get the end of this little wrestling arc here. Uh, uh, uh,
We're dragging our feet.
mm,
Before we get to that, I do want to bring up something.
mm,
So, Spider-Man gets his name here, right? So,
mm,
uh, hold on. I'm trying to double check my notes right here. Because I remember I took a note about parallels.
mm-hmm. He calls
Uh,
himself the human spider, and the announcer says that's bullshit, and then just
yeah.
gives is Spider-Man.
Oh, oops. I guess we skipped over it.
Oh,
Well, I skipped over it.
oh,
So, flashing back to a bit earlier in the movie, Peter gets bit this one day. Norman has his crash out over his company thing, and then he also gets injected with I almost said spider no, with the goblin goop.
Being
All
forced
right,
to
comment
rejoin.
1 second.
oh my God, he's left us. Okay. Guess it's just you and me, Quixby. He gets injected with the goblin
Mhm.
goop. I'm not even sure what he was gonna say
Yeah.
next. I was just gonna leave it. Like,
I don't know what he was going with it either.
yeah, I have no fucking clue. Do you have any points about this before we just move on?
I thought his corporate crash out was really funny.
Oh, the corporate
As the
crash out
whole
was
board looks
amazing.
at him and goes, "It was unanimous," and
Oh
it's
my
like
god,
he's still
sacrifice!
arguing,
Oh nice.
still arguing, even after everyone's like, "It's unanimous."
I mean, I'll see that
Like,
meme
take
all
your
the time.
L.
I'll see that meme all the time everywhere. There's so many Willem Dafoe moments specifically that get like shared around, and it's really great. I'll say for the end of the wrestling arc, what I see here is we get a bit of a like we have a bit of a dark Peter arc more or less, where you kind of see him, this kind of troubled teen, a good kid at his heart who is maybe making some bad choices, having very antisocial behavior, using his powers for gain, letting this robber get away away from spite, like away out of spite.
Okay,
He
okay.
is making these kind of bad decisions. Um, but you still can definitely see that he's a good kid at his heart. But you can kind of in your mind imagine a slightly different version of this arc where he ended up being a much different person if
More
he
malicious.
if his like own moral fiber and own moral backbone didn't cause didn't make the next events hit him like a fucking truck, right? He recognizes this in himself, and he takes so much guilt and so much ownership over what happened, enough that it is more than probably what most reasonable people would put on themselves. But that's just kind of Peter, right? He's just kind of the person who puts the world on his own shoulders in
Because
this
with
way.
great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, and it's his this being a core of his character is just very important. I just got a text from Quickspeed that her internet just died. Okay.
Oh no,
Guess you're taking
Bixby.
turns. Speaking of that, look, any oh yeah, there goes our
There's
avatar. There goes our avatar. What was your earlier point that we had to move past there?
parallels. Basically, what I was trying to say was they get infected with whatever thing gives them their superpowers or at least narratively, within the same day.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is followed up by the next time they are compared and contrasted, which is coming up here. Green Goblin just kills a man. Peter indirectly kills a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's further tying them and their stories with their parallels. So I just had to go through that.
So what happened? Exactly, the story beats happen as you expect them to. He gets shorted on the money for winning the wrestling match. A robber comes in to steal the money from the wrestling guy. He lets the guy go, and Ben outside, who attempted to stop the
This is the part where
robber,
that's my problem.
yeah, Ben like either attempted to stop the robber or just got thrown out of his car or something. Like the robber steals his
It was
car
a
and shoots him
carjacker.
in the in the chest.
Yeah.
And like again, I say that because in some other, I don't think they mention it directly in this one, but in some other adaptations, some other comics, they'll say like Ben was trying to stop the guy,
Hmm.
like out of his own moral conviction. That's oftentimes something that's thrown in there.
I believe it.
Yeah. So he like um uh he follows the guy, he sees the face, big dramatic reveal, and he disarms the guy stumbles back right into a window, out of like the fifth story, dies. The police see this, and this is how we get Spider-Man as a suspect for murder immediately, which is a main tension in the film. Spider-Man being on the run, on the a wanted criminal, aside from just the vigilanteism. Um,
Yeah. I mean, what do you mean? He's a menace. Get that spider.
I was also mentioning to Quickspeed the whole tragedy of the character, this tension in the character that is like him almost going down this wrong path and feeling so much guilt over it that he basically like changes him as a person.
Snaps. Yeah.
And that this is at Peter's core who he is as a person, someone who feels things so keenly and who has such a almost overdeveloped sense of personal responsibility that like something like this happens and he will never ever be able to be normal about it.
Almost as if a part of his key psychology is if he had done good and didn't allow himself a little bit of evil, he could have kept someone close to him alive.
Yeah, where it's like, most of the things that he did there, I don't think he did. And this is also the other balancing act of him, which is that his little mini crash out here can't be too bad. He doesn't do anything that is too uh
Yeah.
too out there.
Yeah.
He does,
Plus,
yeah.
I think the quote bad thing he did isn't even that bad either. Because think of it like this: hypothetically, he's a normal guy at the end of a hallway. A dude with a gun is running down, and someone is saying, "Stop
Okay.
him." I
Oh,
ain't
you're back.
stopping a dude with a gun. Hey,
My
Quixie.
internet literally just freaking died.
Mm.
Yeah, like I ain't stopping a dude with a gun. I ain't getting shot for a dude that chipped me. Like that's perfectly reasonable.
All the
But like this
individual steps.
overdeveloped responsibility.
All the individual steps more or less make sense, even if that's not something a hero would do, right?
Yeah. Like I wouldn't do it, but he's a hero.
He's a hero. So it's and he
He's a hero.
yeah. If you had the spider powers, eh, should consider it. Well,
If I had the spider powers.
he was hardly difficult to take down. To take down once he did actually corner him. He was hardly even a challenge.
Yeah. But I'm saying like hypothetically, like without the
Right.
powers, one would not be faulted for not trying to stop a dude with the gun running down a hallway.
Yeah.
But like he had great power, so he had that responsibility.
This movie has a very long first act, and that's actually the entirety of it. Quicksby, any Any thoughts
Wait,
before we move along, since you were dead for a bit?
I am good. I just had to. I was just catching up on what scene we're talking about. So we're talking about the wrestling scene that was really funny, and then he was gonna name himself the Human Spider. Did we talk about that? Where he went with the Human Spider, and the announcer just was like, "No, screw that name. That sucks."
That's thank goodness for that announcer, man.
Yes.
Well, with that and all the angst, we are ready to move into
Oh wait,
very short Act 2.
Wait, did we talk about Uncle Ben already?
Quite a bit, but I was going to say, did we talk about the guy who manslaughter?
Oomst?
Just, Peter confronted the guy. He fell out a window and died.
I mentioned. Are you guys not listening? Oh, you guys are going in and out so fucking much. Maybe you're not listening to me.
Yeah,
I mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
I just got here. Leave me alone.
Yeah. So I said you guys are going in and out so much. You probably just didn't hear me say it. Okay.
I'm playing catch up real quick because my internet was literally like it was dead for that entire time.
Oh no. So second act opens immediately with Osborn killing some of his military sponsors. And I think one of you guys pointed out, wow, how is no one putting together that Osborn that all of Osborn's like
company rivals,
company higher ups and rivals, they're all of them are just dying. How is no one realizing this? And I think in Heroes mentioning some of the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde stuff, how Harry, the balance between Harry and Norman, who's more sympathetic, who's less sympathetic. Harry in this mostly just comes across as annoying, irritating, a whiny little bitch who is clearly not good enough for MJ, who just kind of gets her somehow, and who
honestly,
has like very little spine.
Yeah, honestly, it was probably a case of, hey, I'm here. Well, I guess he's here.
Forced proximity.
Yeah.
Yeah, he mostly feels unnecessary sometimes. An obstacle, which again is because like I think Harry at his best is the more sympathetic Osborn, just like a sweet kid who maybe is a lot of touch, maybe doesn't always say all the right things, but who you more or less just feel bad for and understand where he's coming from, who gets kind of twisted around. I think I described him later, right? I described him to you guys as like Harry is that kid who was abused, who you feel bad for, but who then grew up to be more or less exactly like their parent, because they never actually had that moment of clarity where they realized what was happening was wrong, which is tragic for sure. But it
basically
also doesn't.
example of continuing the cycle,
but also realistic, like generational vices, generational trauma, stuff like that.
It's tragic.
Yeah, it gets carried on,
but it also does not necessarily reflect all that well on the person who does that.
No, it does not.
Yeah.
But if you remove Norman being
like
to
that,
him being like that, then it kind of just becomes then Harry just becomes Norman with a sauceless Norman, a sauceless second Norman. Again, that's the balancing act. That's the balancing act.
Yeah. Basically seems like the divide of how sympathetic do we want one or both of them, and can we do that? Here we can see the choice they made.
I have a note here. Please inform me of the context if you remember. My note is Tobey Maguire has such a great crying face. He looks so goofy. He looks like a wet dog. No wonder it gets moved on so much.
Yeah, I think this was he was crying about Uncle Ben after he graduated.
Oh my god, he
was.
was.
He graduated. He was like, damn, Ben would have loved to see this. And then Lily was like, he has such a great crying face. I understand the memes.
It's really good. Like it's a good face. It's very funny.
I know the one where he cries at Uncle Ben is memed throughout the entire internet. That's like if anyone makes a meme, it's usually that
It
face.
is. I felt so bad. I felt so bad that I like cracked a smile when I saw that.
The internet totally
I,
ruined that scene for
I
me.
think
Yeah.
I
All I
just
can think
Oh
of
outwardly
was
yeah.
the
said,
meme.
"Hey, he's crying."
How
There's
many times does he cry in this movie? Because it wasn't just once; it was a
It
lot.
was like
4.
3 times, I
Yeah.
think.
Anyway, next scene we get the suit time. We get him going to work for J. Jonah Jameson, J.K. Simmons. There, I think when we were watching the Spider-Man animated series, J. Jonah Jameson shows up, and I was like, "What? Something's wrong here. This doesn't feel right. Why does he sound wrong?" And I realized it's because he's not Omni-Man right now.
Yeah.
Damn, that's what's missing. That's just if he's not being, it's like Mark Hamill in the Joker. It's like when it's not him, I'm just like, what's wrong with this? Why is he wrong?
Oh no, he's not funny. He's not Superman.
I need J.K. Simmons to meet JJJ. Which is why when Tom Holland went, like they wanted to J. Jonah Jameson, they were just like, fuck it, let's get J.K. Simmons again. Fuck it. It's great, honestly.
Uh,
So I'm playing Alex Jones, basically. Like, yeah, sure. Which I'm not sure.
but
I'm not sure if that's the greatest typecasting for JJJ, because as we see later in this movie, Jameson is the whole fun part of him is that he's such a jerk, but he's not evil, right? He's not like he is at his heart a good guy to a certain extent.
in a weird way, I think he's doing, or I think that he believes he is doing something good when he dunks on Spider-Man.
It's like in Ultimate Spider-Man, there's a really great plot line early on. So in that one, there's a lot of like switcheroos in that universe. So one of them is that Aunt May is dead, but Ben is actually alive. You find out that Ben and Jameson are like friends, that they both work on like papers together. And one of the first things that happens in that book is that Kingpin comes around and is basically like, "Cool, I'm like buying all the newspapers more or less, so you guys are gonna print what I say." Jameson literally says "fuck you" and leaves. I'll make my
I'm
own
not sure.
paper. Eat shit.
Jameson is iconic.
Yeah, I'm not sure how comic accurate this is, but this is definitely meme accurate, where it's just Jameson is so against Spider-Man, but then the second someone brings up anti-mutant, he's like, "Nah, nah, nah. Why do you think that?
That was a
What's
fan
wrong?"
fiction that I showed you. I think
Fuck.
that was a fan fiction that I showed you. That was that exact
Not
plot
when fan
line.
fiction
Where
and canon
where
be
where
together.
someone, it was a fan fiction about like anti-mutant hate group tries to talk to Jameson, and at first he's thinking that they're going to talk to him about Spider-Man, but no, they're talking about the X-Men, and he tells them to get the fuck out.
I mixed it up. It curse my memory that just blends things of a similar category together.
It goes to such a point to where he wants the fanfiction's great, by the way. I'll have to find the name and then like re-recommend it on here. Where he gets Peter to like, because Peter, you know, he's Spider-Man, he knows the X-Men. So he's like, "Oh yeah, can you like get one of the X-Men?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, cool. I'll like," he's like, "I guess." Calls up like Scott and Jean, and then they run like a whole like puff piece about the X-Men basically, and it's great. But yeah, we love J.K. Simmons Jameson.
After this depiction of him, it's just always been him.
Because he gets he's such a fast talker. He does it so well. Yes.
Oh yeah,
perfect look.
he's very believable character.
He is. Oh yeah. Also, the whole thing about, you know, Peter starts selling pictures of Spider-Man. The only reason Peter gets away with selling the Spider-Man photos, despite them being basically selfies, by the way, is that the idea of Spider-Man being so poor as to having to do this is so laughable. Like no one on the planet would assume that, no matter how good they look.
Yeah, and like I think I remember joking around saying like, "Oh yeah, you basically have to be insane to take these pictures as well." And well, he's poor, he's desperate.
Hmm. And then Gabi bursts into the office, and I actually put a whole note here about the Power Rangers tech suit goblin. Originally, it's basically like a Halloween costume, right? And
Mhm.
it's sometimes contentious. Right, like the thing with comic book movies a lot of the times is you have to like find your ways to make certain things a little bit more grounded, a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
Functional, but still works.
Yeah, yeah. I love my colorful costumes, but even I think that like just doing a straight up like Party City Goblin costume would be like a little much. You know? So making it like a tech suit, since this is like all military technology anyway, makes sense. And I prefer it to the alternative of making it like a mutation like they do not just in Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, but in some of the cartoons too. I think it doesn't I think it's much lamer. If you're doing a cartoon, just give them a part. Just do it. Just do the Party City thing. Like, just fucking why not? You already it's
Like
already a
the
cartoon.
cartoons are the prime area to do it at. You
It's
don't
already a
have to worry
cartoon.
about
You know, yeah. Don't worry about the
yeah.
realism. But for live action, I get why there's a tension with it sometimes. I get why it scares people. I get why it scares directors a little. And I think this was probably the best. This remains to be the best compromise. And I'm a little saddened that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man felt the need. I have to like actually I have to just look up the director of that film because it's not like Andrew Garfield directed them. Those movies feeling the need to break away from that and then doing the mutation, it I showed you the pictures. It looks like really bad. It looks
Yeah, it's bad.
so
It's
bad.
real. It's so bad.
Either I did not watch that movie he was in, or my mind just blocked it out.
I hope it was the latter. I hope it was the
I'm,
latter.
I'm pretty sure it was the latter.
Okay, Jameson being a real one, and then pretty much immediately Act 3 starts. Like immediately Act 3 starts. There's like some other stuff where there's a whole like Macy's Day Parade, corporate Macy's Day Parade, where
Yeah,
Gabi
yeah.
kills some more people. But like Act 2
Or
is
corporate men.
tiny. It's teeny tiny.
It went by
Yeah.
very, very fast
Yeah.
until you realize you're just thrusted into Act 3.
It kind of just blended into three. Like it was not a lot of breathing room.
No.
The thing with a lot of superhero movies kind of struggle with their second acts a lot of the time because right you do the origin and then usually people are just excited to get to the final confrontation. So what usually you end up with is either a case like this where Act 2 is teeny tiny, or a case where it goes on for like way too long and is kind of boring. You know,
I
you get a
guess I'll
very
relate to that
by
more
the
as I
numbers Act
rewatch more.
2s. Yeah, you'll
I mean,
see.
I didn't think this was the worst. I don't think this was the worst example of it, though.
Again, the
I
fact
thought
that
it
it
was still
was
like a pretty decent movie.
teeny
Hmm.
tiny works to its advantage.
Tiny teeny.
But yeah, Act 3 is like, you know, you get Gabi starting to slowly ramp up in his
Insanity.
his insanity with Spider-Man in particular. You also get more and more of this romance in between not just MJ and Peter, but MJ and Spider-Man with the famous upside down kiss,
Hmm.
which
Yeah. It's a good scene.
it is. There's a reason why everyone references it and why how much can I say on YouTube about are either of you guys aware of a certain parody version, a certain adult parody version of the Upside Down Kiss that was made the
No, I'm
rounds some
not.
years ago?
I'm not.
I can only assume that means Spider-Man was lower, but I did not know of it.
Yep, there you good
Okay.
assumption. Good
Okay.
assumption, luck.
Oh my
Move
gosh.
past this before we get age restricted.
Demonetized.
Oh god. Oh yeah, I was also wrote down a note of like the Spider-Man not quipping very well, him calling Norman Gabi, and it just feeling like a little forced. He just Toby, it does not roll off the tongue very well. And this is where the world's most uncomfortable Thanksgiving happens.
What do you mean? That's just a regular Thanksgiving.
At first, it's all the tension of like, Peter has to sneak back in with everyone in the house, including Norman, and then it becomes a whole thing of Norman like in the hallway arguing with his son about like. Right at this point, Harry and
She
MJ
doesn't
are
love you.
dating, and Norman very loudly calls her a gold digger,
Gold digger.
barely 5 feet away from the door in a very echoey
She's
New
just
York
terrible.
hallway. Probably everyone in the entire building heard him.
Yeah.
And MJ was so incredibly embarrassed by the whole thing, and Harry acts like a little bitch about it and refuses to say a
Yeah,
single
it's
word.
kind of funny because Harry basically almost had a layup because like, don't talk about her that way, Dad.
He just doesn't give a shit.
Then yeah, MJ was just like, you know what? Thanks for defending me. Your dad's a creep. Like, how dare you call my dad a creep? I'm like, oh, damn it, man.
Wow, you really fucked that one. I'm surprised he even tried. Like, he comes back in a later scene trying to bring her flowers, only to see that Peter is like with her at this point. Luckily, he's not
Holding
mad
her.
at Peter about that because I think he recognized he fucked up. But the fact that he even tried with the flowers is kind of fucking laughable. Like, brother, like no, brother,
He
brother,
don't want you.
Yeah.
brother, it's over. Like that no, it's done.
Listen, it could have been salvaged if you had just taken the compliment of like, "Oh, thanks for defending me." I'm like, yeah, but like,
What?
no, you didn't she compliment him, say like, "Thanks for defending me," and
That
then
was
that's when he
that was
defended his dad.
sarcastic. She was like, "Thanks for defending me, asshole." Did you not recognize that? He did not defend her even a single moment. That was not
Didn't you say?
defense. That was not defense. That was not
Okay,
defense.
first of all,
that was not even an
first of
ounce
all,
of
I'm
defense.
stupid.
Oh
First
my
of all,
god, you actually thought that?
He was telling his dad like she ain't like that, wasn't he?
Then his dad continues to just absolutely steamroll it and just say all these awful things. But he should have gotten mad. He should have exploded. He should have said more than what he said. That was absolutely like, oh my god, are you kidding me? That's the most like, holy shit. If a guy does that to me, I'm never speaking to him again. I am like outright like, we are not talking. We are not looking. I will cross the street if we are about to cross each other on a sidewalk.
Yeah, ready.
Oh my god, you need to learn this
He's like,
lesson
yeah,
right now.
no.
Apparently, yeah, I will.
Apparently, yeah.
Quicksby, agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bad when someone's standing right there. Your family basically dogs on them, and then you do nothing about it. It's a pretty bad situation.
If your family member is bad mouthing your girl to that extent, and the best you can manage is a limp, she's not like that. You like no. The correct answer is to start yelling at him. That's the correct answer is to start screaming in your father's face. That's the only thing that saves the situation.
I hate to tell you, but a lot of family will just tell you to keep the peace, though.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, that's what happens.
But I can tell you for sure what your girlfriend wants to hear in that situation. It's for you to start screaming at your father.
Oh yeah, definitely put some people in there, please.
Literally, yeah.
Either
Scream or say we're leaving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody!
Happy Thanksgiving!
Yay! Wait, hold on. Don't forget. Why is this a turkey? I wanted a McRib.
God. Oh, God. Anyway, Peter continues to be incredibly fucking smooth with MJ, giving her beautiful poetry, talking, like she's like, oh, I'm falling in love with Spider-Man. He's like, oh, I'm talking to Spider-Man a lot since I do the photos for him, and like, he asked me about you, and I'm glad he framed this in the correct way. He didn't try to do it like, oh yeah, well, Spider-Man said this. He said, no, I told Spider-Man this about you, and then he proceeds to give the most beautiful poetry on the planet, and it's like, you did good, kid. You did good.
Like, that could have been a very annoying, miraculous-esque situation of like, oh, okay, you know what I mean. Of like, oh
God.
yeah, the masked one is the one.
Oh my
but like,
God.
no, he's like, I said this.
Miraculous ladybug can die by my blade.
What do you mean? Don't you remember the movie? Don't you remember that one scene with Platt? It was so good. It was... it's killing me.
Well, yeah, Peter has always and will always pull 10 out of 10 baddies of all genders, for sure.
Because he listens.
He
Just
listens.
Active
because he
listening.
listens. Active listening.
He has that Peter
Yeah,
Parker
active
riz.
listening is famous. Yes.
You have active. No. I just find it a little funny that Luck had to learn today that, like, yes, that is actually a deal breaker for most women.
Well, it's microaggressions. That's kind of what it is. Although that one's more blatant, but usually
I think they call that one a
microaggression.
macroaggression.
Yeah, that one was macro. It was a micro. But the point is that
Yeah.
it can some stuff before it gets to that level. There's usually like a trail of microaggressions that kind of lead up to it.
Mhm.
In that kind of dynamic, if a family's having issue with someone else that you are seeing.
But yeah, I'm like imagining like the whole like visual novel, like multiple choice starts popping up, right? Like what are the correct answers on the multiple choice? Like, you know, like say you know, start screaming at your father. Punch him in the face.
Start a food fight.
Say we are leaving right this second. Do not call us. Or C, do what Harry did. You know.
I'm just imagining that being like the red button.
Yeah. That's the heartbreak one with like the heartbreak symbol of like you end the path right there.
You pick it on the top right, it says relation lost.
Yeah.
Divorce.
MJ will remember this.
MJ leaves your party.
Yeah. Okay. We get the final confrontation here, which, as I mentioned earlier, is a very direct adaptation of the death of Gwen Stacy, including the dilemma and as well as the place it takes place on, the bridge.
We skipped the burning building.
Yeah. Oh, he also
that's all.
He also injures Aunt May, like attacks her in a scene that's very funny. In a scene that's really funny.
Okay. On the one hand, it was very traumatizing for her.
Really funny.
On the other hand, it was kind of fucking funny.
It was kind of, she's like praying, and then he's like, pray louder.
She was in that hospital bed, like she got abducted by aliens, and her brain got scrambled. Yeah.
Oh my god. And then that's what leads up and then Harry brings the flowers, and you know, obviously, boy, you missed your chance. That thanks for defending me was sarcastic, as we mentioned. And so yeah, we get the death of Gwen Stacy a little bit to the left. I believe in the comic how it goes basically is at first he tries to save the people, right? And then he does the web at Gwen, and then it causes her in a rare case of actual accurate comic physics, or like actual accurate physics in comic books. The velocity causes her to snap her neck.
Oof.
And
I didn't realize that's what happened. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That's why I've been making snap crackle pop jokes this whole time.
Yeah. So he saves the kids and then webs her, and then she falls so far though that immediately snaps it, and it's a permadeath. It is like one of comics's few permadeaths to where basically the only way she could be brought back was more or less through Elseworld shenanigans. And she was out of the comic eye for so long that if it weren't for Spectacular Spider-Man, people might not know her name outside of like as an interesting bit of comic trivia. And you could probably also definitely indirectly credit Spectacular for why Spider-Gwen even happened.
I think Spider-Gwen is basically the revival of her character, because that's all I've known her to be.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of same. Like
I've only known of Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, like I knew she existed, but like I didn't know anything about her till Spider-Gwen.
One day I will probably for when we get around to Andrew Garfield, because Spectacular Spider-Man was the show that was more accompanying that one. that's a good opportunity to watch that show, because it's a very good version of Gwen and MJ too, is the thing. And it's a shorter show. If you have not seen it, I acquired a copy. Don't ask how recently. So so we'll watch it one of these days. I'll sit you down for a few episodes at least. It's also a real.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
remembering that show too. I'm like, oh, it has such a good Norman and such a good Harry and such a good Eddie Brock, and everyone's so good in that show. And god damn it, I want to be watching Spectacular Spider-Man.
It is a good one.
Anyway, but yeah, this Spider-Man built different, so his GF is fine. And
He saved everyone.
Yep. Also, though, this is also where I was just reminded of, like, oh yeah, maybe this is my last few notes of this are basically just a big diatribe on MJ and the MJ Peter ship in this movie. So get out the last of your notes and criticisms, and then I'm gonna go off.
I think really the only thing I have to say is they made quite a few concessions from comic accuracy to what they think would have made a better film, i.e., they took away the tech shooter. They merged Gwen and Mary. Hold on,
Calling her
scrolling the notes
Mary
right
is
now.
weird. Oh my god.
I've
never
was
heard
just reading
anyone
off
call her Mary.
Like MJ.
Okay, fine. Mary Jane Watson, better.
Either call Mary Jane or MJ. Never heard anyone call her Mary ever. Oh, that was
All right,
weird.
so Watson.
You're like, my ears are overstimulated. Don't do that again.
Don't do that again. That was weird.
If I'm not back next week, it's because they didn't like me saying Mary that much. But I am kind of curious on why they made some of these changes. Like, I can understand the merging of two characters, but I wonder what their logic for the organic base shooter was. I feel like I should probably watch some behind the scenes to get that answer, but if I'm to make an assumption, they probably wanted to make it more of a, he's discovering these powers type of thing.
They just didn't want to do a scene where he has to make them. They just didn't want to.
Also entirely possible,
do
yeah.
that, you know?
Okay, yeah, that tracks.
My freaking leg's falling asleep. I gotta stand up.
Yes, sir. But still tell us your last thoughts, Quixby.
Well, I mean, overall, I liked the movie. I didn't think Spider-Man himself was very funny, so that was kind of disappointing because when I watched Spider-Man, like, I want it to be funny, but that doesn't mean the movie wasn't funny. Just him in particular was not that funny.
I think I mentioned something before about how in between this movie and the X-Men movie, you really should see like exactly how we got like modern comic book movies. How it should how the lineage in between those two should be very apparent. And so now you're starting to get a more complete picture. This is why I want us to go beyond just the basic MCU. I'm like, I want you to see how we got to the MCU. You know, appreciate it, savor it.
I do. I mean, I got into Marvel late, so like, I could have had the opportunity to technically grow up with it, but it wasn't introduced to me, and no one around me was like super into it at the time. So like, I'm now watching all of it as like an adult, older adult here.
So so now I'm gonna go off about MJ and the MJ Peter ship in general, as well as in this movie in particular. I got like paragraphs here. Okay, so I was contrasting her with Gwen here, saying that Gwen's had a pretty good revival with the comics as of late, with Spider-Gwen, Gwenpool, etc., etc. She's found a good new space for her character beyond just being Peter's dead girlfriend. But with MJ, it's been like more of a struggle, and you can really feel that. They've tried to make her another Spider-Woman, hasn't really worked. They've tried to make her Lois Lane, including literally being a reporter. It also doesn't really work. They're hesitant to make her just Peter's wife, and like I understand why, but IMO, it's kind of her at her best in a lot of ways. And with comics now having more diverse casts and more diverse roles for women, I think that's okay. not to get too choice feminism-y, but I think their relationship is really good and cool and healthy, and I always love seeing it. If that's her defining feature, let me see here. Oh my gosh, being his support, I'm okay with it. He needs the support, honestly. Like, Jesus Christ, he needs the support.
Peter just needs good things in general.
Now, she doesn't need to
Not too
copy.
many good things.
She doesn't need to copy other characters. She doesn't need to completely change herself. I'm happy so long as she's not in danger 5 times a day, which this movie has that problem, in my opinion, and has something going on in her personal life, like the acting thing, which also gets injected into her character. That's like a thing that's mentioned in Ultimate Spider-Man, for example, her being an actress. A character can have being a wife and a mom as main character traits so long as, 1, other women have roles outside of that, and 2, they have an actual personality outside of just being supportive. Now, I generally don't fuck with the women in Invincible. You know this about me. I think that show is hella misogynistic, but Debbie is the gold standard of this, in my opinion. Just a well-written mom who is loving and supporting and loyal, but has a lot going on and is messy and a complete person who can carry an episode by herself. That's the main metric. Just, can they carry an episode by themselves without needing the man there, and can it still be engaging and a really, really good time?
Speaking on that, there's a film thing, I forget what it's called, but it's like a test where if you watch a film,
Bechdel.
Bechdel test.
2 women have a conversation, it has nothing to do with the man.
Yeah.
I don't need necessarily MJ to pass the Bechdel test, but I need her to have a personality. And if she can pass the Bechdel test with another character, with another female character, like
They
Gwen,
both need to have personalities,
Felicia, etc. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of freaking spiders, is one on my wall.
Get it! Get him!
Big.
Get him!
On.
Get his ass!
Side note, if I remember right, I think Lord of the Rings as this series, or not series, the trilogy fails the Bechdel test.
Oh yeah. Yes. Easily. Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit doesn't have like named women. Lord of the Rings has 3.
Like 1 per given movie.
1 per book. No, oh yeah, Luck, you said that you didn't quite buy the MJ Peter ship in this movie. And
I didn't.
Yeah. In my opinion, that's because this is the most sauceless MJ I've seen in a long time. I mentioned this before. Yeah, MJ's supposed to be with Veronica to Gwen's Betty, but this MJ is just Betty. She's lacking the spice and sauce that comic MJ had that made her so fun and exciting for comic readers. Girl who's fun, exciting, kind of bad. She challenged him, was a wild card a bit. The whole like, you just hit the jackpot tiger line that everyone loves.
Yeah, I've seen that screenshot floating around.
Despite being in other ways very different from her, MJ is definitely a popular girl. I think Michelle Jones in the Tom Holland movies is in a lot of ways closer in spirit to what MJ should be than this one. Being a bit more of that, like, I don't know, just like, kind of bad girl a little bit. I don't know how to describe it. That feels like a bad description. It just being the girl with that bit of sauce, with that bit of spice. Got the spider good.
Yeah,
I did. I freaking hate bugs.
This is why you're not Spider-Man.
No,
I know, right?
This is exactly why I'm not Spider-Man.
I was gonna say too. I can't believe you killed a spider during the Spider-Man stream. Damn, bro.
Damn.
I can't believe it either.
She has that spice to her. She has that spice to her. That bit of like personality, that bit of edge to her that makes her entertaining, and that's like why you fully get why Peter is kind of fascinated by her and kind of just wants to be in her orbit. This little sweet little nerd boy, I'm, and also just the end, how the movie ends here with like Peter, she's in love with Peter. They have a kiss over at Norman's funeral, and then he walks away from her in a move that I think is just really infuriating. Just like, I have to leave her to protect her. Like, technically not out of character for comics, but also just deeply infuriating. And I'm very glad that they've slowly started dropping that letting Peter like
Yeah.
not only have MJ but like have a family, and like if there's a reason why people actually really want that interpretation of Spider-Man and why they want to get away from the high school thing is because they're irritated about shit like that. Him like it's so annoying. It's so annoying. It's
Just
already
be.
it's already annoying when
Go.
Batman does it. Like Peter doesn't need to be doing it.
Like, please be comfortable with breaking the status quo. Let him be with a girl.
Let him be with a girl. Jesus Christ. But yeah. Ultimate Spider-Man ended up being a kind of dud of a series, but their dynamic in it is pretty much perfect, and it definitely shows why, like, how important that dynamic is and can be to any given Peter Parker. So yeah, that's my big MJ diatribe, and why, despite the fact that this is a pretty good movie, I think that she's definitely the weakest part of it. Again, they just needed to give her like a personality, and maybe have her be kidnapped maybe like a few less times. You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, Harry was
Yeah.
right there. You can damsel him once or twice. Like it's fun, do it. It's fun to do. But yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's the end of my notes. That's all of them. It was a good movie. It was a good
Yay, good
movie. It was a
movie.
good
I
movie. It's at the
liked
top
it.
of our
Worth
rankings.
watching.
We have all our rankings.
Yeah.
Our final
Uh,
ranking.
Yeah, my final ranking. Fuck you, Goblin. Spider-Man's one of us. Yeats Brick Goblin.
You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
That's the one.
Anyway,
Also, I just kind of noticed something. My notes are actually misspelt. Or at least the name of my notes. It's spelled Sifterman, not Spider-Man.
What the fuck? Did you at least use spell it using a hyphen?
No, I got too lazy, so I just.
God damn it! Did you at least spell it using 2 words?
I got too lazy.
Too lazy for a space?
Yeah, in fact, half the time it's just
never
Spider or Pete.
They always say
The English major is triggered.
They always say it's never. They're very careful. It is Spider-Man 2 words with a hyphen. Never spell it as 1 word. One way ticket to hell.
I will say this though: the majority of them, I did just say Pete.
That's fine. Petey. You know, Petey if you nasty. Gotta find the. Oh gosh. How about before we head out, name your favorite Spider-Man ship.
Favorite Spider-Man ship. Aunt May, Uncle Ben.
Boring. Next.
Wait, no, that's not actually my real answer. Oh fuck! I wasn't expecting to be put on the spot like this. I actually don't know Spider-Man enough to have a favorite ship, but if I am to make one, some of the stuff I've seen from Black Cat, she seems great. Her,
great. Felicia, yeah.
Yeah,
Black
her
Cat.
and Spider-Man, yeah.
Black Cat's great. Quixby?
I just realized that's just similar flavor Catwoman, isn't it?
I mean, because I've seen
that tracks.
You know, Spider-Verse. Like I do like the dynamic of Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen.
Miles and Gwen.
Yeah.
Fair. My hot take is Peter x Johnny Storm. They were roommates.
You're right. How good. Oh, I remember seeing a clip of that. Wasn't he such a bitch, Johnny?
What?
What? Wait, me or Quixby?
No, I heard neither of you. One of you just speak.
Okay, Quixby, you speak.
I said the wit would be endless between the two.
Oh yeah, that's the fun about it.
Yeah, as for me, wasn't Johnny like such a bitch as a roommate, like constantly screwing with Peter?
Pretty much. They're fun. They're fun. They're fun. A lot of Peter's most fun ships, in my opinion, are just when people just fuck with him endlessly, which is why his best ships are in order. Are in order, like Peter x MJ, Peter x Johnny, Peter x Wade, Peter x Felicia. It's just all the people who just fuck with him the most.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, next week is Daredevil. Because Sunday is Mother's Day, that's usually our movie watching day. We're going to be watching it on Saturday on Discord, which I think Luck will still miss us for that day, but that's okay. He still has to watch it. Our homework, I believe, is going to
Yay.
be the episode in the Green Goblin saga in the 90s series where Daredevil represents him in court. It's more of a cameo than anything, but considering we're going to be watching the Netflix Daredevil show later, it was the best I could come up with. So, yeah, watch that for next week for the 11th. Stream happening as usual. Other than that, stay tuned for Kingdom Hearts, and me and Luck have begun to read Magnus Chase Sword of Summer, or at least I have. I don't think you've even gotten your copy.
She has. I've not gotten the book now.
Get the copy soon. It's not as long as some others, but you probably want to take the time to process it with like all the new characters. Don't rush this one.
Fair enough.
Okay. I'm gonna be
Well, shall I give the
I'm gonna be there
outro?
2 weeks from now, and you're gonna be like, I haven't gotten it yet, and I'll be like, I'll kill you.
I'm not saying that's okay. Yeah, outro. Okay.
Do the outro before
Well,
you
then.
disappoint me again.
That's gonna happen. You sooner or later. You know this. Well then, Lurkers, Chatters, here for a little, here for a while. I thank you all the same. This is Luck bowing off. And remember, everyone, lucky days.
And you better not fucking hassle Quickspeed out on having an outro again. This has gone on for 5 streams.
Oh.
You're gonna
Okay.
pipe it the fuck down. Anyway, 3,
Okay,
2,
fine.
1. Good
Good
night.
night.